So the other piece to my sort of upbringing was that there were a lot of men on my block in the surrounding areas. Um, Growing up in what's considered to be Edgewood in the early 80s, late 80s, and early 90s, there was a lot of things happening around our block, but nothing never happened on our block. There were probably no less than 8 to 9 strong men who ran their households and collectively ran the block. You know how like when you're young and guys first start getting cars, right? 16, 17 years old, buckets. Sometimes it might be an older model, sort of foreign car. Um, you riding around with your friends and you joyriding or whatever you may be doing, right? You park on a certain block. Maybe your mom doesn't know you have that car. Maybe it's stolen, right? It
Yeah.
could be a lot of different scenarios. But I bring up that example because guys would park on our block, right? And there was always this unwritten, unspoken rule that if you into something real heavy, like, all right, you can park right here, but like you got to keep it pushing. And there were always men on the porch that would be observing the block and kind of being on guard, right? And I bring that up in response to your question because, I learned a lot about what it is to be a man by watching my dad and also those 8 or 9 men who ran their houses respectively. And then there were a few younger men, like younger than my dad but older than me, that I looked up to as well, and they looked out for me. And so I told you earlier, I have 2 older sisters. They were really popular. The older guys in their age range saw me grow up. They didn't want me to take the wrong path or make the wrong decisions. And so the guys who may have been doing things that were dead wrong always made sure that I stayed on the right path. And so I'm
Yeah.
appreciative for that.
Yeah, and it's funny. I always say it's funny you say that, but